Hello and welcome to the first Gay Boy set review featuring my wonderful guest Nate and Kevin, me. We're going to be reviewing the Mom set, which is March of the Machines. As you can see, Nate, why don't you tell us a little bit about our scale?
Well, our scale, in a few words, is we took the 5 biggest tiers and gave some examples from our experience playing Magic, going to Mythic with Phyrexia All Will Be One. We got A tier, which is the bomb tier. It's your White Sun's Twilights. It's your Wandering Emperors, except not really the Wandering Emperor.
Eternal Wanderer.
Yeah, that one. We've got B tier, which is for strong cards, like really high level commons and uncommons that aren't quite bombs, but are pretty close. We got C tier, which is the Deist tier, which stuff that you like to have in your deck, but isn't like the best card in your deck. We've got D tier, which is filler, which is the stuff that you don't really like to have in your deck, but if you need it, you need it. And we have the G tier, which is the bad tier, which is for cards that we like to say have good art.
Yep, they're not cards that you worry about putting in your deck. They're cards that you look at because they have nice art. All right, so moving on to what we came here for, we're gonna see. Let's get this set up. We are gonna start with our first card, Aerial Boost. Nate, why don't you read it out?
It's a 1 and a white mana instant. It has Convoke.
What is Convoke?
Convoke basically says that you can tap a creature when you cast it, and each creature that you tap pays for 1 colorless mana or 1 mana of that creature's color. And it gives target creature +2/+2 and flying until end of turn.
Okay, so this is a trick that your other creatures can help you cast. It's like your shitters help you cast it.
First things first, you spelled Ariel wrong. You spelled Ariel like the princess.
Oh, maybe that's what this card is. It definitely. I don't know, Nate. This card doesn't. Hi, what do you think of this card? I personally am already not liking it.
It looks like a pretty meh trick to me at best, and tricks are already not particularly strong.
So I'm gonna be honest. I don't think this is like I think of this card. I look at this card and then I think about Free from Flesh from last set, and that was 1 mana cheaper, and it had bonus upside, and so I already hate this card, and I already felt like that was not a good card. So I think I'm gonna have to give this one like a D.
I was gonna say it's on the border of D tier and good art tier for me. So yeah. I'm on D tier too.
Okay, yeah. And there's like gonna be a lot of cases where we're gonna say like, oh, like it's in between, so we can go with whatever. But I think we're both in agreement. This is not gonna be a card that like you're wanting to pick early. And that moves us on to card number 2. I'll probably be focused on typing these if you want to read them.
Yeah. We have Alabaster Host Intercessor, 5 and a white. It's a creature Phyrexian Samurai. When it enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. And it is plane cycling for 2, which means you can pay 2 and discard it to search for planes, put it into hand, and then shuffle.
Doesn't have Convoke, which is something I kind of was hoping I would see on a card that costs 6 mana and is a 3/4. Plane cycling's not bad.
I do like plane cycling though. Like if you're going to have such an expensive creature, having the ability to discard it for a land if you need to does help.
That's true. It kind of like mitigates your early game, and this is already where I'm wishing that this is where it would be nice to know more about the set before reading the cards of the set.
Yeah. In All Will Be One, this would be terrible.
Yeah, because
but in a slower set, this could be pretty solid.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, either you go get a land if you need land, or like early game, or late game you top deck it. It can help. It's like a big booty version. Well, it's not even bigger booty than Annex Sentry. It's just 3 mana more for 2 attack, and I think that might already say a lot about what I think of the card.
It's 3 mana more for 2 attack and plane cycling too.
That's true, but how much do you value 2 attack and plane cycling? I don't know. For me, I look at this and I'm somewhere between D and C. Yeah. If you think you could talk me into C, I'd be happy. But
that's where I stand too. Is by general rules of Magic of ignoring All Will Be One in terms of like that set is abnormally fast. Like it's high filler, low decent for me.
Okay, where do you? Let's see. So if we had to, okay, so we're both in that D to C range. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this card is gonna be like a D, where you're gonna be okay putting it in your deck, but I'm not gonna be like dying like I'm not gonna like want to run a bunch of these. I'm not gonna want to run like 3 of these. Whereas like I'll run 3 volt charges and be happy. I'm not gonna run 3 of these. I'll run like 1 or 2 maybe.
Sure.
If it's the format that's even conducive to it.
Mm-hmm. If it's a format that's conducive to it, I don't know. I'll take a shot in the dark. I'm gonna go light C tier, but I can easily see this turning into a D or F tier card if the format's not slow enough.
Sure, and I agree with you on that. I'm just kind of I'm just someone who's like, I'm a stat monkey. I look at the stats, I see 6 mana 3/4, and I already want to throw up. So unless it's doing something really OP, I'm not loving it. But anyway, that's fine. That's perfectly reasonable. Next one, Alabaster Host Sanctifier. It is a 2 mana 2/2 with lifelink. Now this is more what I'm talking about. This is like, for me, I look at this and I think this is something that I'm going to run because I want 2 drops in my deck. It's going to give me some lifelink. It's going to hit some people. It's nothing special.
I like this card. It's not going to be, your biggest all-star, but I think it's going to be very solid.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in a very nice solid C tier of I will be happy putting a couple in my deck.
Yep. Just bread and butter, 2 drop, does the thing. It's
a bear with upside, and it's a Phyrexian, which I think will be relevant in this set.
Yep, perfectly fine card. And Lifelinkers, especially as the format gets more and more pushed, more and more aggressive, Lifelinker just becomes more and more relevant of a keyword.
Yep.
Okay, Angelic Intervention, 2 mana instant at common. Target creature or planeswalker you control gains protection from colorless or from the color of your choice until end of turn. If it's a creature, put a 1/1 counter on it. So
for those of you who played Theros block, this is God's Willing with a 1/1 counter upside that costs 1 more mana. And God's Willing was one of the best tricks in that format.
So God's Willing was 1 white?
Yep.
Okay, well this is double that.
Yep.
And so is
it
double as good?
Not quite, and so I don't think it's quite as good a trick, but I do think this will be a solid 1-of trick. I like this significantly better than I like Aerial Boost.
See, I look at this and then I remember back to Brothers War. That what was that green trick that had like hexproof, indestructible, trample, this and reach? Gaia's Gift. Yeah. I look at this and I look at Gaia's Gift, and I immediately am like, this is never getting higher than a D for me. And that doesn't have to be what you rated, but that's where I'm at.
No,
I hate this card.
I was going to put it in D tier, but I'm going to put it in higher D tier than Aerial Boost.
Okay, this is almost F tier, but I'm just going to say, like, I'm sure at some point during the set someone's going to get me with this, and I'm going to be salty, and so I can't quite put it in unplayable for that reason.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have to make a decision. Do we want to skip over the rares and just do them all at the end? I think that way we can kind of like get a better idea.
I'm okay with that, because rares, I think, deserve their own ranking system in terms of, really, there are 3 major types of rares: good art, like strong, and bombs.
And just like it's like bombs is like mega super duper nuclear red alert bombs ruin the game. Yeah. So the kind of cards sometimes where you just roll your eyes when you see your opponent say, and I cast tap 7 to cast this. You're just like, okay, whatever, dude.
Whatever.
Cool. So then that moves on to our next. These are common.
Attentive Skyward.
Yeah.
2 and a white. 2/2 flying. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or a battle, transform up to 1 target incubator token you control.
Oh, okay. So it's like it's like their incubator. Do you want me to go grab an incubator card so we can read it?
Might be helpful.
Okay, let's see if we can find something. Let's see. Oops. Incubator. Okay, so let's see. Incubator.
Yep. Here we go.
Incubate is an ability that could appear on any card type and those are written with numbers N. When an effect or ability tells you to incubate, you create a color object and put a number of 1 count equals the incubator number.
And then you have to pay 2 mana or use another effect like this one in order to transform it into a creature.
Okay, so essentially what this card says is it's 3 drop and with the 3 mana 2/2 with flying,
which is
okay. And then whenever it hits face or a battle, you basically get 2 mana. If you have an incubator token out, you get to cheat 2 mana by flipping it over early.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this card depends a lot on what 2 and 1 mana incubator cards exist.
Yeah.
But
I mean, even without that, it's a 3 mana 2/2 flyer, which is at least high D tier.
yeah, like I mean, like okay, yeah. So it's like, is this gonna be, what was that 2-drop from the last set? The flyer with Toxic, Flensing Raptor. Is this Flensing Raptor, or is this like Battle Scourge, like the 2/2 Death Touch in black that just never did anything? So it's like, somewhere between that for me.
Yeah. It'll be pretty similar to one of the two. I'm not sure which.
I don't know what to rate this. I'll just say it's gonna be. I mean, Flyers and limited. I'll just say it's a C. But if there's not a lot of good incubator stuff, like this is a D. So it just depends.
C tier could easily go to D if incubate's not very good.
Especially in white, because I know like white seems like something I feel like would be in black and in maybe like blue or something or green. But I don't know if it's gonna be in white because they have a lot of like human themes. So I don't know. That depends on if the card is anything. So next card, Bold. What is that? You got this one.
Bola Slinger. 3 and a white for 2/2 with backup 1. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. If that's a creature other than this one, it gains the following ability until end of turn. Whenever this creature attacks, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls.
It is a 4-mana
2/2. Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh. I do not like a 4-mana 2/2.
And it could be a 4-mana 3/3. Think about that.
I know.
It could be.
Which is
Backup
still not
1.
good.
What a 1/1 creature. So it could be. How good is it to have something when it attacks, tap target artifact or creature opponent controls? I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. It's not. I mean, how much? I mean. Man, this card sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I
don't know. I don't know. It's close for me. What is it? Tentive Skywarden. Okay, I'm actually gonna go with the D on that last one because I'm more skeptical than you.
Are you gonna put it in G tier?
Oh yes.
Good art tier.
Yes. Good art. I don't know. This one seems. Maybe I'm an idiot and I'm missing some like core mechanic, and I'm gonna look back and be like, "You idiot! How did you not notice this?" But this is our first time seeing the cards.
Having seen like 7 other cards from the set at most, bottom of D tier for me. It's very close to good art tier, but
yeah, like this thing trades with a 2/2 lifelinker. Like, oh man.
But for now it's bottom of D tier for me.
Okay. I mean, you know what? You're probably right. You're probably right. I'm gonna leave it there just because I hate that card already. Just because it's so bad. 4-mana 3/3. Have I ever voluntarily put a 4-mana 3/3 that wasn't the Spooter in my deck?
Yes, the Golem in Brothers War that gained you 3 life.
Yes, but that was also sometimes a 7-mana 6/5.
Yes.
But this is either a 2/2 or a 3/3. That is not the same thing. Okay, so you're going to D tier.
Bottom of D tier. Yeah.
So let's see. Next card. These are rares. We'll do those later. Cut short.
2 and a white, instant with Convoke. Destroy target planeswalker that was activated this turn or tapped creature.
Yikes.
I'll say it. White removal that destroys tapped creatures, usually bad. I think this card is bad.
Yeah, because even if you're paying like 1 by tapping your shitters, you're tapping your shitters that aren't blocking now. Yeah. So it's like, and the planeswalker has to be activated. So it's like, wow, that's.
I'll say it. This card has wonderful art.
Okay,
because the art is actually pretty.
Okay, that is some nice art.
Other than that,
I will give you that.
No.
Is this uncommon or is this rare?
That's a rare.
Okay, so we're gonna skip it.
Elishar.
Okay, first
Elspeth's
uncommon.
Smite.
Elspeth's
Smite.
Wow, this is fun. It's 1 mana white. Alright, got off to a good start. At instant speed, Elspeth's Smite deals 3 damage to target attacking a blocking creature. If that creature would die, exile. See, like this card is just cut short. Is just embarrassing when like standing
Compared
next to
to
Elspeth.
this.
Like it's like that meme where like the girl's walking and then the guy's like looking back at the other girl.
Yeah.
That's what this card is.
And this
for
card
me.
isn't even that good.
I'll say
okay.
This is
at
like
best.
pretty. I'd say this is like all right, depending on how relevant the graveyard is. This set, like, this is like a card I put in my deck. It's for 1 mana at instant speed.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll put it in my deck. It's definitely better than good art tier, but it's not that much better.
Are you gonna be in a D tier or a C tier?
That's what I'm deciding.
See, for me, I feel like 1 mana is so much less than 2 mana. It's half, in fact. So
That is true.
Usually I don't like these effects, but usually that's because they cost like 2 or 3 mana.
Yeah.
Whereas this is something that's like you go like 2 drop,
Mm-hmm.
something or whatever, like, or you just have mana at some point. Like
Mhm.
this thing probably kills something at some point. And instant
Mhm.
speed. It's tacking or blocking, and
Yeah,
it exiles. I'm willing to give this a C tier for me. I'm gonna go out on a limb.
I think attacking or blocking makes it D tier. I think if it was a slightly less restrictive piece, then
I mean, if this thing says any creature,
well,
it goes in
then
D.
it's lightning bolts.
It goes in
Then-
D for me, at least. You know, like it.
Oh no! At that point, it is an A tier card. It is
Yeah.
lightning bolt, but better.
And that's what I'm saying
which,
is like,
no.
I'm saying
Not
that
good.
I'm willing to bump it up 1 tier just because it's half the mana that this effect usually costs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. What do you? If you think it's D, then we'll go with D. And
No, I think I've been convinced. For right now, I'll go low C tier for right
Yeah.
now.
I don't know. It's for me. It's just cheap enough that it gets there. But
Yeah.
we'll only one
Yeah.
way to find out. And that's gonna be to play the set. And okay, so all these long names. Whenever I start typing a long name, that's your
Yeah.
cue.
Enduring Bond Warden, 1 white mana for a 0/1 with backup 1. When this creature dies, put its counters on target creature you control.
When this creature dies. Okay.
So think
that's
of it as
cute.
a 1 mana 1/2 that gives a 1/1 counter to something else you control when it dies.
This seems like
It's
just
also a human, which I think might be relevant.
it
in
might
this set.
matter. This is the second deck. This is like a D card for me. This is just like your
Yep.
standard D card.
Yep.
Like there's a million of them. Like there's like the 1/2 vigilance guy in the last set. There's like
Yep.
always the little 1 drop in
Yep.
limited that
Oh,
does some
absolutely.
cute
it's
thing.
It's playable, but it's not good.
Yeah, like it's not like, oh nice, I better put 5 of these in my deck.
Yep.
Okay, so moving right along. Golden Scale Aeronaut. I can do this one. 5 mana for a 2/3 with flying. It has backup 1. So it's really a baseline like a 5 mana 3/4 flying. That can. Oh, and if you give that counter to another creature, it gains flying until end of turn.
Yeah.
Oh man. Man, that wasn't there. There was a card that did this in Soldiers, except it gave a counter
Yep.
like a set ago. And
Yep. Aeronaut Cavalry rather, in
Man.
Brothers War. Yeah.
I think this kind of looks like, I don't know. To me, this kind of looks like Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
What I see is the guy, the inventor guy's son with
Oh,
like a
yeah.
one wheelchair riding his glider. That's what I see.
Yeah. Okay, glad we're on
But
this.
yeah.
Okay, next. All right, Guardian of Gapor.
That's a rare.
Oh, it's a rare. Okay, I
Heliod's
nailed
also
it.
rare.
Wow, there's a lot of rares in here.
Yeah.
Infected Defector. 5 mana for a 4/3. When Infected Defector dies, incubate 3. Okay, so this is a 5 mana 4/4 that
5 mana 4/3 that
4/3.
makes it 3/3 on death.
well, not on death. It's you can
Well, I
when you die, when it dies.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little worse than what I was thinking. You can't just pay 7 and have it become like a 7/6, which would be kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Still though,
I mean,
This
7
is-
mana for a 7/6 worth of power and toughness over multiple turns it's okay.
yeah, the 3 health, like I think it holds this card back a little bit for me. If this was a
Yeah.
4/4, I'd be a little
It dies
lot
to
happier.
Elspeth's Smite, for example.
Exactly, and that's what I'm kind of saying. And in fact, well, I don't know if does it die or would it get exiled? So it would
get exiled,
but it
so
would
it
die
wouldn't-
first. So would it incubate?
Oh yeah, on
It would
death
still die.
triggers.
It would still incubate. Okay, so it's not that bad, but
Yeah.
I don't know. 4/3. I was like hopeful of this card when I first read it, but the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking this might just be like a D. I don't know. I don't know. How does this set so far? This set seems kind of low power to me.
Yeah, I agree.
So like this might just be a C because so far everything we've looked at has been small, but
So far, what I'm seeing is the set looks significantly slower than these past couple sets, and so I'm
Thank
willing
goodness.
to go on out on a limb and give it a C. In a set like Pt.1, it would be a good art card, frankly.
yeah, and
But I think if we get a slower set, I think it'll be fine. It might slide down to D if the set's mid tempo, but
And I like really like these kinds of cards because a guilty pleasure of mine was a Hearthstone back in the day, and this looks a lot like a card I love, like Piloted Shredder. But Piloted Shredder was a mana cheaper, and whenever you're comparing a Magic card to a Hearthstone card, I don't know, I'm just gonna be responsible to give it a D and move on with my life. But I do see I see what you're looking at, and I think there's hope there.
Yeah.
All right, another what is Inspired?
Inspired Charge. 2 white, instant. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn.
Man, they just keep
In
printing
a
these
sentence,
cards.
it doesn't give any keywords, and therefore it sucks.
Yeah, like they keep printing this card, and it keeps not
working.
Making the deck.
It's not good.
It's yeah, like I don't know what.
You need to give them a keyword. Like at least Dominaria United, you could pay an extra, like I think it was 1 in a red to give Trample. That card was actually really good because it gave a keyword. It gave something important, but this just doesn't, so it sucks.
Now, don't get me wrong. I am really happy that this isn't that red card from last set that was 4 mana. That was just 4 mana. Now you can't block.
Yeah, that card was toxic.
That card was just, I don't think, healthy for the game.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that they didn't print that, but also that card really is. This card's embarrassing when it's standing next to that. Yeah. So I think I'm just we're in the good art category here.
Definitely.
All right, so we have to turn our head sideways here. Let's see. Is there a way I could do that? Let me try something real quick. Just give me a minute to see.
We will have to look at the backside as well.
Okay, I see. So let's see if this.
Because these cards flip.
Let's see if we can't. Let's see if I can pull some editing magic on the fly here. Well, like I was just trying to see if we could avoid turning our heads, but